Hi, my name is Rich. I use the he, him pronouns. And you're watching my YouTube channel where I play amazing tabletop role playing games with friends. This is Intercontinental Group of Awesome, our Sunday afternoon for me, evening for our friends across the pond game. And we are continuing our delve or our dive into the Spire, the City Must Fall game. And it's been a pretty amazing campaign so far. And even more amazing is that I'm a player in this game. So let me hand the reins over to our loving GM, Tyler.
Hi there, I'm Tyler. He, him pronouns. And yes, we are playing Spire by Grant Howitt and Christopher Taylor. And we are all mixed up in all sorts of huge politics going on. And we had a big duel last time. We're at a party. We have lots and lots and lots of things happening. I won't go back too far, folks at home. If you haven't watched it, just watch it. It's awesome. But I will give a quick thing of last time. We had the duel occur, and Sorden defeated Resplendent Champion, which allows the Paladin Mourns the 200 to begin an investigation because he's under the impression that the Swan, the horrible serial killer that is plaguing Spire, is somewhere in the party. Our group also is pretty sure of that fact as well, and in fact have heard some pretty frightening, worrisome things going on. We have Bizarre, who is in the dressing room of Callisto Brax, our presumed Swan. As a matter of fact, I think Bizarre is certain of it now, since having found a pretty damning costume in his wardrobe. But Bizarre has completely charmed Callisto, it seems, fully making him believe that, yeah.
In that vein, if you say I've completely charmed him, I have this move actually that says that honest face move. Remember that one?
Yes.
That says, let me get here what it says. But trust me, you've got an honest face. Almost a shame, really. When you convince somebody someone to trust you against their better judgment, you gain them as a temporary bond.
Correct.
What?
So, yes, you may have Callisto as a bond now, and you can we can play with that here in just a moment.
Mm-hmm.
And he had taken out a pipe and had smoked something from it and had passed it off to you, where you had drawn from the pipe but stated you were attempting to not inhale. And we will come back to that because that's going to be significant. We had Emirates and Fanara, who had observed the performance of Sebastian and Lorelei, and Lorelei had come down and flirted very heavily with Emirates, and invited him to come back and help her remove her costume, since it's ever so difficult to get off alone. But then we'd had the duel happen, and I think everybody had sort of stayed to watch that. Ermich, you had also overheard a conversation between the Lieutenant Strea and someone, probably Callisto. I don't think you saw them, but I think it's fair to assume you do, where she had told him that the mistress expected him to kill someone, and mentioned that Lucian Rhymes that Cracks, I believe, which is Vanara's husband, is up in the, not Vanara's, I'm so sorry, is Joshua's
twist.
Yeah, that's a twist. Now, Joshua's husband, who is up in the box with a drow lady, and she had told Callisto that the mistress wants him dead. And you had been told that there was an elfier heart on the menu tonight. So, and We had then had, let's see, I think that's kind of where we broke, was with this information, you had conveyed it to Finara and we had watched the duel. So why don't we have everybody introduce their characters of themselves, and we'll get on into play. Why don't we start? Let's start on the left side of our character keeper. Alex, introduce yourself, and glad to have you back and your character.
Very glad to be back. I'm Alex, I use he, him, and I'm playing Gerald, who also uses he, him, who, while you may have not seen him in the previous session, I'm sure he was sneaking his way into the building, and maybe he was right there in a scene and you just didn't notice. He's spent his durance as a spy and has a knack for disguise and sneaking, and is also exploring his religious side with the masked god.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very, very much. Next up, we know you ever so well and love you all, but why don't we hear about your character, Rich?
You bet. I am playing Aramitz, the Lajan, or priest, who is, he got perhaps a little too prideful in his abilities and resisting demonic influences, and that didn't go as well as he had hoped. Now he seems to be a little entranced by this temptress who has asked him back to her room, dressing room. But luckily, Finara stepped in, and that will likely save him from very, very bad outcomes. I'm sure it'll all work out.
Awesome. Thank you very, very much. Next up, Jen. Tell us about your character and introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm Jen. I use the she, her pronouns. I'm playing Fonara Alvary, who also uses she, her pronouns and is an Azurite. That is to say, she is a business bastard. She cuts deals, buys and purchases and sells and swindles things, but not too much, not so much as it's illegal. Knows a lot of people around town, can make money moves. It's all good stuff. Last session, I got to make a well-timed wine save for Aramitz, and otherwise, I've just been scoping out the party and telling other business people that, right now, I don't have liquidity, so I'm not really here to talk business.
And you're in the company of your bodyguard, though he is dressed to the nines today, isn't he?
It's true. He does clean up pretty well.
Yes, indeed.
And
then
he tends to like how many daggers you can hide in formal wear.
And last but not least, Sabine, introduce yourself and tell us about your character.
Hi, my name is Sabine. I use any pronouns, and I'm playing Vizar Shakeride, who uses he, they pronouns. Vizar is an inksmith. That means he's a sort of reporter and writer and poet and reporter and investigator. He has lots of irons in the fire, and he'll probably burn himself sooner or later on one of them. But right now he went to this fancy party to meet up with the mentor of his new and exciting friends, Lorelei and Sebastian, the performers. He also met up with his old master from his durance, Redolent Dreams of Firefly Glyphs, who is, well, yes, who kind of does not understand that Bizarre's durance has ended, and every time he sees him, it's like, you do this, and you do that, and you do that, and you have a very good handwriting. That was a lot of fun. And later on, he met this mentor, who was Callisto Brax, the famous, incredibly famous author, and also probably a demon worshipper, and the serial killer known as the Swan. I mean, he has the Swan's outfit in his closet, so and when confronted with the outfit, he was like, we make this art after the performance, so pretty much kind of confessed to that. And Vizar was egging him on the whole time, and I plan to continue with this, with the egging off, the on egging off, whatever the right grammar here is. And but there is a little wrinkle here that he has to still roll to see how well he can work with the pipe smoke. Yeah.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very, very much. And Alex asking, are we all weaponless in the party? You have the ability to carry things that are fairly hidden. I think you've seen some of the like bodyguards of Elfir that would carry a bit more openly. The Elfir get to do things however they want. So, but you
There's
certainly
no
can
like
have-
strict rule or anything that people would have been searched or
right. No one got searched. It would be anything like if you came walking in with a rifle, they probably would ask you to check that.
If you were anyone other than Zordin and came in with his sword,
Mhm.
okay.
All right. I think we're going to start up with you, Vasar, because I think that's going to set a little of our tone here. As
How will you roll, I think? Oh.
Yes. As that smoke had entered into your mouth and you're trying to not draw it in, there is this heady burning in your mouth. At the same time, there's this, I don't know, slight rising almost of anger, cruelty. I need for you to roll a resist plus occult or religion.
I can do occult. I have nothing else, but that's still 2 dice.
And this will be affecting your mind.
Thought so. See how that goes. It's a 6, so not great.
All right. I need for you to roll me a d6.
Okay. That's a 4.
All right. You take 4 mind stress.
Okay. And I'm rolling for fallout now, I
Yep.
guess.
Just roll a d10. Let's make sure we get over a 2.
Oh, I don't. I don't.
Oh, nice. Very nice.
But that reduces my stress by 3.
It does.
Huh. Okay, but I take fallout.
You do.
Cool.
So, that will be minor occult fallout.
Yay.
And you're going to be taking Unluck Curse.
Okay.
Once per session, when you roll at least 1d10 or 110 on a dice roll, I may activate the curse, and your highest die counts as a 1 instead.
Oh no. That's cruel. Yeah, okay, fine.
And you manage to avoid drawing in most of this smoke into your lungs. You kind of keep it in your mouth and blow it out. But it's still, you just feel this sort of short-temperedness, this desire to see people put in pain.
Oh yeah. That tracks with what I'm planning to do anyway.
And as you pass the pipe back, and Callisto, it is indeed an inspiring bit of smoke, is it not? And he looks into the mirror and looking at you, and maybe you follow his gaze, and you can see in your eyes a faint red glow. I could see that it already has brought you new vision.
I mean, my eyes are red anyway, so.
They might have a bit of a glow to them.
Oh, nice. And I look at it, that is, wow. That is, yeah. And I look at him and I say, you know what? Why not act on this? Why not? And I look back at the costume, the white one. Why not do it now?
Are you pulling your bond?
No, I'm not pulling my bond. I do it for the story.
Oh.
You have the way of getting people to act on their basic impulses. Once per session, NPC you're talking to is precisely what they want to do at that moment in time, regardless of consequences.
He looks at you and you see him cock an eyebrow. Oh, you are a very eager little protege.
I want to see that happen.
He looks down.
And with the smoke in my mouth, I'm not even sure if I'm lying.
He says, well, I meant to bring them to the heights of delight before casting them into the depths of despair. But perhaps it would be best.
Let them die knowing that they won't even have that.
Fetch my costume.
Oh, I will.
And you move over and bring it as you begin to dress it. We're going to switch over to Aramis and Fenara. The duel has ended. Fenara, you had sort of broken up a little bit or moved over to kind of intercede where Lorelei had been giving so much attention, if I remember correctly. So there'd been a little separation, you know, she'd given you the evil look, but then everybody had sort of been drawn to the duel going on. And as it's finished and Morn says, you know, I will begin my investigation now. Lorelei looks over at Sebastian and Sebastian's like, we should inform the master. And Lorelei looks at you, Aramis. Oh, Aramis, I fear that I really must go and speak with our muse for a moment, but I do hope we can have our little rendezvous later.
Of course. Yes, I would like that.
She moves up and will try to kiss you. Do you let her?
I don't move away. There might be a guilty glance over towards Fenara.
She plants a big one on you, and it is heady. You are still a little caught up in that infatuation, and as the kiss lingers for a moment, Fenara, you see Sebastian's face sort of give this disgusted look.
I share it just a little bit with Sebastian. Just a smidge.
We should go, sister. And she, of course, as she moves away from you, Aramis, and the two of them move away, heading backstage.
Are we entirely sure she's irredeemably corrupted? Fenara?
Yes. Remember who found an Eidolon box under her bed?
Yes, of a heart.
Mm-hmm. It was a scary demonic heart, as I recall.
Yes, it certainly was.
Yeah. Redemption is not a one-person activity.
Not at all.
Alex, I will leave it up to you to put yourself in whenever you feel like it.
I think it's at this moment, like suddenly, like a nice silver dish is like just suddenly between you. I'm like,
I put my empty wine glass on it.
yeah. I mean, it's covered in delicacies. In food.
I move to do so and then go, oh.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Intermission delicacies, courtesy of our host.
Oh.
You don't recognize the face, I assume.
I mean, you're wearing a different one.
I'm wearing a different mask, different costume, and I'm in the role of wait stuff.
Let's see, stuffed mushroom
I
cat.
cannot recommend the
meat.
snail hearts enough.
I didn't know they had those.
Careful bit of artificing keeps them beating until they touch the tongue.
Marvelous. How?
And are all the members of the cell safe?
I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about, sir.
Our progress with the swan? These ones are the freshest on the edge.
I reach and take a look.
Gerald, you so-and-so.
Oh.
Well done.
Have an extra.
Well, Sebastian and Lorelei have made their performance and tried to ensnare our intrepid Aramis, but he is just too good for them, I say, like rubbing his shoulder.
I nod like, yes, that is a true statement. There's a bit of
It
sadness.
is hard to forget those hearts underneath the bed. The heart.
They've just gone backstage to talk with Callisto as Sorden and Morns are going to be engaging in their...
I did catch his impressive display.
Yes, we think that the target is Lucian. Lucian rhymes cracks beneath.
Ah.
Yes, he's in that box over there.
I don't look in the direction, but I just nod.
We're...
Oh, the toilets are to the left.
Oh,
I say, just as
thank
somebody
you. And then I point in that corrected direction. Oh, all right, all right.
Is there anything else I can... Go on.
Does that mean you're gone or the person who might be eavesdropping? Okay.
I went back to talking actual business.
Okay. Vizar is also backstage right now.
Is he setting up the meeting with our potential swan?
Mm-hmm. Or at least that's what he's supposed to be doing. Although, with Callisto, Lorelei, and Sebastian engaging in a little bit of scuttly, sudden activity because of Morns, it could be a little dicey for him.
Perhaps I should refresh my plates.
That could be a wise idea, especially since Aramis and I are already somewhat made, so to speak.
Yes, we're known quantities.
We've been seen multiple times, so...
And you are supplied with drinks, weapons, as like a little tink, as like a knife just tapping the underneath side of the dish.
Oh, believe me, Golisette would not have let me come inside without something.
Excellent.
Oh, I'll reach for that knife.
Yeah. So it's like there's a drink on the edge.
Yeah, it's like reach for the drink, take the knife, slide it.
Yeah.
Have you seen anything in your infiltration that might be of note?
To our loving GM, I do have one of the staff. You'd be surprised how much chambermaids see. Once per session, you can seamlessly blend into the household staff or employees and keep your ears open for information. and for every hour you spend performing busy work, I get to ask one question.
I think you could have easily been here for 2 hours, coming in, getting
Okay,
situated,
sure.
moving around,
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
What do we think? I'm trying to think of what questions we would have been wanting to know. Because so far there's not like a connection between the Swan and this particular house that's having the party. That isn't a
Correct.
Doesn't seem to be, no.
no. Well, I will just use up one question, which would have been confirming that, trying to to see if there's any kind of.
You would have heard that it's quite a quite a coup to have such a well-known actor here. That the master of the house is very fond of his performances, and that he comes recommended that Lord Lucian, in fact, had sent a message suggesting his employ.
We believe Lucian is the target. I think I've only just gained that information, so I wouldn't have acted on that. Can I trade in a question for just interesting bits of information I might have picked up?
Absolutely. You are aware that there are like servant corridors that lead to all of the boxes that keep you out of the hallways that are more visible and open. So you are completely aware of a much more circumspect means of moving about. That seemed like a fair answer to.
That does, yeah. Well, if this Lucian is in danger, and what do we know of him? Is this?
He's Joshua's son, husband. Husband. He's Joshua's husband. He has a drow mistress that he's currently doting on in that box. He owns the mansion that Visar and I wandered into, although I don't believe that he administers it directly. That's for little people to do.
Just gonna switch off my camera for a second. Just 2 seconds.
Let's see. What else do we know about Lucian?
He's in Mercantile.
Yeah, he's a merchant. Believe he owns a lot of the mansions in that area, actually, or maybe it's.
No, he's renting that. It was the Threads on Silk.
Okay, Threads on Silk has lots of that. All right. Then otherwise, I mean, the only thing of particular note, him and his character and what he does and how he behaves, is that he doesn't seem to be wrapped up in Drek or any of this demonic nonsense. Completely unaware of his wife's behavior.
I say we side on caution, and less death is good.
Especially when that death involves some kind of demonic anything. Yes, I agree.
Yes. Let's not help them complete the ritual. We should. I do not like the idea of Visar being left amongst three.
Visar is competent, but yes, I agree.
If there's one thing we know about the swan is you don't want to be alone with them.
I think on that note, we will cut over to Bazaar. Bazaar, as you have finished dressing Callisto in this outfit, and as I say, it's got this, it's white and feathered, and it has like its little crystalline knife spikes on it. And once it's on him, that bodysuit, it almost just melds on skin tight. He's a well put together guy, muscular, and he holds a mask over the top of it, which is done in ivory, and it has this sort of stylized swan to it. As he says, "Well, my little protege, I would love for you to be able to see my work."
Yes. You're so beautiful. And that is not a lie. He is.
I look forward to what you are going to write about tonight's escapades.
It will be exquisite.
As he says that, you hear the door open and Lorelei and Sebastian come in, and you see Sebastian, Master, are you? And give you a look back and forth between the two of you.
And I look at him and I say, we are going to make art now.
Sebastian's eyes sort of widen. Lorelei gets this grin, this vicious looking grin on her face. It would seem my protege is interested in observing our work, and I know my two dear, as he moves over and clasps them both either side of their head. And I know the two of you are also ready for this greatest of all performances. Yes, Master, of course, Master. I would have you take our writer friend with you. All's the distraction that is needed. And I shall make my entrance.
Master, may I plead with you? I would not leave your side. I am convinced that Lorelei and Sebastian are quite competent enough to cause an amazing distraction. I've seen their work. They are more than capable. Please, I beg of you, let me come with you so I may write about this, so I may see this.
I do not know if you can travel as I will be traveling, my dear. You see, and he moves over and dramatically throws open the windows. The swan must fly. And as he says this, he lifts up and begins moving out of the window.
Okay, that I cannot copy. Then tell me where I must go so I can witness this.
Lorelei,
Please.
Sebastian, make sure Vizar is there and ready to observe. Of course, Master, of course, Master. And as he moves out into the darkness, there is this sort of weird effect of watching the white suit sort of begin to change its color and catch on to darkness. And it's almost like he's fading from vision as he flies out of this window.
Ah, damn it. I wonder if I should try to stop him, but there are two others. But I precipitated this, right? I mean, this is on me. I can't let that happen. I can't. Okay, then. Well, I shrug and I say, I will yell at the top of my voice.
Oh, no.
The swan is here. I won't yell at you now, but I will yell at the top of my voice. Alarm, murder, fire. The swan is here, and I'll try to punch him out.
Oh, all right. So you are jumping towards him as he's exiting the window.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. I think you're going to catch Lorelei and Sebastian enough off guard that they don't stop you as you leap forward. And so you're going to get the chance to strike him as he's going through the window.
Yeah. That's what
I'm
aiming
guessing
for.
you're using your knockout punch.
Yes, I try to knock him out. Let's see how that goes.
Okay, so you are rolling
Mhm.
fight
Yes.
and
Low society,
yeah, I think we could go with low society here.
because this is not pugilism. This is more like, yeah.
And he has a difficulty of 1, so minus
Okay.
1 die.
So I roll 2 dice. That's fair. Huh? Maybe. Or not. Let's see how that goes. Well, I've got a 9 and a 7.
Very good. With a 9, you get to roll d6 damage.
And it's brutal, so I get to roll 2d6.
And take the higher, yes.
Yeah. Well, it's a 2. It's not very good.
All right. You hit him as he's going out, and it sort of, throws him off balance. He wasn't expecting it, and he kind of falls out of the window and then sort of turns back, hovering, looking at you from this gap in the window.
I tell him, you know what? It will really be exquisite when I unmask you, you pompous ass.
Damn you for the traitor you are!
Oh, come on.
Get him!
That is penny comedy what you're doing here. Emote a little more.
And he points at you as Sebastian and Lorelei are going to go into action. And he, knowing that that now the alarm's been risen, will... Yes?
I will try to provoke him into attacking me.
Ooh.
And I've got a bond with him.
Oh, very interesting.
Because I don't want him to get away. Swerve to fly away. I say, what? Can't you even fight me yourself? Come on. Show me what you got, swan.
All right. So you have a bond, and so you're going to get to using your bond. You're bringing the favor of, or trying to get him centered on you, which I think seems fine. And for that, I'm just trying to see what we roll on a bond real quick. Let's see. So 1d10 for the bond, 1d10 if it's in their area of expertise. Fighting and killing someone is. 1d10 if it's in their neighborhood or home. I think being on a kill mission would suffice for this. You may roll 3d10.
So to convince him to do that, what I want. Yeah.
Correct.
Cool. It's a 7.
A 7. All right. Is that going to
Big
give
stress?
you fallout? Yeah. Or stress? Yes, it will. All right. But you do convince him as you see behind the mask, his eyes just narrow in fury as he says, "First you, then the Alfear." And quicker than you could imagine possible, he flies through the window. There is one of those crystalline daggers in his hand, and it slashes towards your face. Would you be so kind as to roll a d8?
D8, you say? That is a lot.
And it is piercing, so...
Yeah, I don't have any armor, so it doesn't matter. It's a 3. Okay.
Take 3 to blood and armor.
And I roll for fallout.
You do.
Nice. Yes, it's over. Finally,
You got over? All right.
got over. No cool scar.
um,
Or maybe there is a cool scar.
And I'm going to pop back to the other 3. As y'all were at near the stage, I think you are probably able to hear as Vizar has yelled this.
Yeah, we got to take off. We have to do
cut
something
to
about that.
literally arriving?
I think we could have y'all running up, and I think if we're going to have y'all arriving, then I'm going to have Lorelai, and Sebastian do something before you get there. So, Bizarre, Lorelai, and Sebastian, because there are daggers everywhere around this room, if we remember.
Mhm.
Have grabbed up daggers and are moving in these spiraling acrobatic moves. I need for you to roll resist.
Which I don't have.
Plus, this would be crime.
Can I use Law Society instead? Because I don't have crime. Also, I think I made my roll that I wanted to face him and he calls goons off. Right, that this was between the two of us.
Oh.
Not those.
I'll go with that. What the heck? I'll let that go for this moment. We'll have them. They're
theater folk. They know that this is they're not. This is not their scene. This is his scene and mine. And Bizarre doesn't care about that. But just hopes that, yeah.
All right. So I think then, as he's clearly in this combat then with you, he will yell over to them, "See that we're not disturbed." "Yes, master." And they open the door and will step out to see the 4 of you, running towards them.
I think I'm still in. I haven't taken off the servant's mask, and I've kept the tray. Sir, madam, I heard a commotion.
Turn around.
I keep moving
back.
as I'm saying this.
Moving towards the door?
towards them at the door, yes.
Gotcha.
Are you sure nothing is amiss? I can fetch somebody right this moment if anything is needed.
I think they see also Fenara, Golisette, and Aramit's behind you. And Lorelai will look back towards you, Aramit's, and say, "Aramit's, my dear, you really should leave."
I think I would definitely be taking this moment of them not focusing on me to close the distance and smack one of them across the face with a tray while taking a dagger out.
All right. Aramit's, do you reply as you see Gerald rushing in?
Yeah, I think.
I tried to do it as more as I'm walking up to them and then suddenly just smack, rather than like I run at them. Obviously,
Jen, please announce the thing you put in
betrayed.
So good.
Ah.
I think Aramitz's reply to Lorelai is, "I'm sorry, Vizar is a friend of mine." He draws out his little knife, and this is going to go bad. This is so bad.
All right. Cheryl, I'm going to give you your opportunity to try to smack one of them. You will be... they are not expecting this of the servant, so I'm not going to put their difficulty in.
And can I use my knack of... I mean, it's a sneak knack, but dirty work?
Yeah. This seems like this would be that sort of jumping out catching them off guard. I think that works. So let's roll. I guess it'll be sneak then, plus your knack.
High society?
I don't think you're going to be able to
No.
pull high society for being in a servant's outfit. It
No.
could have been crime. It could have been low society.
That seems fair. So you said the difficulty isn't in effect.
Isn't in
yet?
effect right now?
So I had the base and then the knack. So that's
So 3 dice.
the 3, yeah. A 3, a 4, and a 10.
Very nice. I think a tray will do D3 damage, sound like?
Yeah. I'm happy with that.
Which one of them are you hitting?
Hmm?
Which one of the 2 of them are you hitting?
Who was it who replied? Actually, I'm going to go for the one that's because it'd be more awkward. Is it Lorelei?
Mm-hmm.
As she's mid reply. So yeah, because that feels
The one that was talking to Arabins.
yeah.
Rude. I like it.
2.
2, as it slams into her, she sort of staggers back. You son of a bitch. And I'm going to have you, Gerald, roll me a resist plus crime or low society, as Sebastian is slashing at you. You're muted, my love.
Apologies. I have resist, so that's 2 dice. No, but it's difficulty.
No yes, there is difficulty now. So your base plus resist -1, and then you don't have the other. So you're rolling 1 die.
6.
Ooh. You will, I believe, succeed but take stress. Is that right? Yes. Would you please roll me a D3?
I will. I got 3.
Add that to your blood and armor. And we're going to be rolling some fallout here.
Yeah, I'm up to 4. In that.
You added in your yeah, you got your 3 in blood and armor. All right. So roll a die. Want to get above 4. 4 above.
Yeah. So it's a 10-sided, and I want to get above 4. Above or below?
Above.
Okay.
Oh.
Yeah,
You're
I got a
taking
1.
You're taking bleeding. You're leaking. Until you get proper medical care, each time you make an action, mark 1 stress against blood before you roll the die. But you don't check for fallout from that. As this dagger in his hand slashes across your arm where you had swung with this tray, digging deeply into it. Fanara, you and Golaset, what would you like to do?
We have to keep these performers busy, Golo.
Yes, ma'am.
And that's what we're aiming to do. Keep them occupied so that they're not continuing to beat on poor Gerald.
So, your bodyguard acts as a fight for you, correct? Is that right?
So this is interesting. We've never actually played this out. My bodyguard's a weapon. He's technically a piece of equipment. Don't worry, Gullah said. You're always a fine man and performer to me. But yeah, bodyguard D6, tiring, defensive.
All right.
And I'm good at hiding behind him and fighting.
And defensive means when using this weapon, you gain additional armor resistance slot.
Oh, okay. So is that 1 point or?
It counts as armor in your blood and armor.
Okay.
Counts.
So is this 1 point? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we'll just pencil that in there.
Okay.
With the digits.
And you're sending him into the fight.
Yes.
So roll fight plus either, I guess, crime or low society.
Ugh, I have neither.
All right. And you are dealing with their difficulty now, so -1 die.
All right. Well, that's 1. And if I try to help Golaset, that's 1.
That is correct, but it
so
puts
it's 1.
you in potential danger as well, but yes, it is. So you get 2 dice.
Well, so that's right. I have 1 for making the attempt.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'll get in there. Man, my buddy's life's on the line. Oh. Poo-poos. I got a 4 and a 5.
All right. I need for you to roll me a D3.
All right. I'm just going to roll a D6 and divide that crap by 2. Boink. Okay, it's 3.
All right. You're taking 3 points of damage. All right.
All right.
And hang on, I'll roll real quick. Just set it real quick. I don't think it's going to, yeah, no problem there. Okay. As you and Golaset, as the two of you come in, these flashing, whirling knives, Golaset does not manage to get a good strike in. And you can tell that the two of them are used to fighting together. And Aramitz, as you're fixing to get involved in this fight, perhaps with a little bit of distance, it's you that's realizing that maybe if you could separate them, or once one of them is no longer fighting, that difficulty is going to go down. They are very good at fighting together.
So, just so I'm clear, if I split them up to where they're not fighting side by side, then they become easier targets. Okay, cool.
What would you like to do, Aramitz?
Yeah, that is a great question. I am not great at most of any of this. So I think I'm going to tackle Lorelei and knock her to the ground. They can't fight together if I'm on top of her with a dagger.
All right.
Terrible at this.
My next action will be trying to buy you some fighting skill. Just hang in there.
All right. So I think this will be fights. This will be either low society or crime.
Yeah, I have low society.
Okay. The difficulty is present because they're still together. So 1 die.
Ooh, actually, could I allot my blood and armor stress to silver with gold-blooded?
Absolutely.
That has to do for you, right? That's
That's for me.
armor for you.
That's-
Okay, just making
that's
sure you
for me.
weren't trying to, because I'm about to roll dice and I don't want to miss out on any.
I
I'll
know,
grub
I'd
for
love
dice
to-
if I need to. All right, here we go. My single D10 tackling
You got this.
Lorelei.
Get it, bro.
We'll see. That's a
Whoa.
7. I will not turn that down. So
Roll
that's
me
a
a-
success at a cost.
Roll me a D3.
Okay, I will. A 1.
Oh, lucky you. Take 1 point of blood and armor, but you have knocked her to the ground and are kind of, the two of you are wrestling. She kind of in desperation had, like just thrust her dagger out towards you, but it barely nicks you as you're down on the ground. She says, "What are you doing? Why? Stop, let me go." And is staring into your eyes, looking sad and confused.
Oh, God, this is harsh.
But you have broken up their kind of formation work here. we're going to skip back inside as Vizar. What are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, what am I doing? Guess, am I trying to knock him out again, or am I trying to get out of this fucking room? Which might be the more intelligent way of doing stuff. But, you know, sometimes when you write so many stories and then you convince reality that some parts of these stories are true, you convince yourself a little as well, I'm afraid. So, yeah, well, let's try and knock this dude out, because why not?
Why
Right?
not?
What's the worst that can? Oh well, they must have heard it, right? They must have heard us. Maybe is this their some sort of lighter?
You also probably are hearing a fight going on outside
Yeah.
the door.
Okay. So this is fine. Even if it takes me down, he won't get out of this. So yeah, I'm trying to knock him out. Why? Well, because it worked so well the first time, and
All
he's
right.
still one difficulty, right?
He is. He is supernaturally fast.
Okay. Let's see how that goes. It's an 8. So yeah.
Ooh, very good. Roll your damage, D6.
Yeah, that's the problem. There it goes. Yeah, it's a 5.
Very
Spire.
good. This one, he staggers back as you punch him. And, you know, he was attempting to, like, block you with one of these glass crystal type daggers, but instead you pop him good. He falls. You have betrayed my trust.
You're a psychopathic murderer. Just to be clear, I really like your performance. That was not a lie. You're a great performer, and you look very pretty in this costume. It's also not a lie.
How dare you? I am not a psychopathic murderer. I am the psychopathic murderer. And as he says this, you feel the weight of his presence on you. I need for you to roll resist plus occult, please.
I don't have resist. I need to have resist at some point.
His difficulty doesn't come into this one, though.
Okay, cool. That's nice. Yeah, that's an 8.
Oh, lucky dog.
And I say to him, "Can I quote you?"
Oh, I think it's. Oh no, you didn't roll a 10, so I don't get to use my unluck yet.
It's not a 10.
Darn it.
10.
But you feel.
Yeah, but I look at him and I say, "Can I?" Yeah. I feel the weight of it, but I kind of resisted, and I look at him and straight in the eye and say, "Can I quote you on that?"
See his anger as he drops back. Yes, you can. We pop back around to the fight outside. Gerald. And this is worth us noting. We now have difficulty down. So you're rolling straight.
Mm-hmm.
Lorelei and Aramitz are sort of rolling around on the ground at the moment. Sebastian's still up and looking quite dangerous. What would you like to do, Gerald?
I feel like I've been dismissed slightly with that, knocked aside, those nasty cuts.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, I want to do a quick little roll across the ground where I'm like holding my arm, dagger. I want to just like back of the heel, back of the knee with a dagger.
Ooh.
Just,
all right.
Make them pay for kind of dismissing me.
All right.
Actually, I'm okay with people dismissing me.
Yeah. I do think we're probably out of your dirty work range. Though.
Yes, yeah.
So base plus fight plus low society or crime.
So I just two dice.
2 dice, but no difficulties.
An 8.
Darn it all, roll your damage, sir.
And that's the dagger is a 3, I think.
Yes, most daggers are, unless you have something special.
I don't believe I do, but I'll just have a little look. No. A 3.
Ooh, it bites deeply into his leg, and you see him sort of, son of a, rawr, and he sort of staggers back and yells, "Master!" But
Yes, well,
you have injured him.
quite. I say, like, getting up and giving him room. I'm going towards the door.
Ooh, all right. Fanara, you and Gola set, seeing maybe a little bit of a chink in this guy's armor. He's limping a bit.
Yeah, I think we'll press this. Would have played it a little bit more cautious, but Gerald's success means let's take advantage.
All right.
2d10.
2d10. Are you helping as well?
I mean,
Are
if
you-
if I have the opportunity to split my action, I would like to buy Aramitz some fight skill.
You certainly can.
So Golo can have 2 dice for this roll.
All right.
Get in there, Golo. Oh, 10.
Woo. His damage is a d6, I believe, isn't it?
Yep.
Roll it up.
A 2.
He lashes out. Is he using his dagger? Is that what he's used? What is he striking with?
He's definitely striking with daggers. He's the one with the damage die, so I can basically, notionally, I can put anything in his hands, and what it does is d6, as far as what seems to be mechanically correct goes.
Correct,
But
yeah.
but yeah, he's secreted in some daggers. He's probably got one in each hand. He's a bit of a ham like that.
And so as he pushes in to this limping Sebastian, you see his Sebastian sort of in desperation, like block the dagger that Gola said was striking with. It's then that you realize that was just a feint.
Ooh.
As Gola said, strikes low with the other hand and rips up with the dagger through Sebastian's stomach.
Ooh.
And
He's,
says, "The mistress' will is done." And Sebastian, he pulls the dagger out and kicks him right where the wound is. There's a squelch as Sebastian gives one gurgling breath and slams against the wall, crumpling into death. And Lorelei screams. What are you doing, Fanara?
It's time to say a little prayer. I am going to be casting the Golden God's Guidance. I'm going to mark D3 stress in mind, seems correct.
Okay.
And Aramitz gains the fight skill until sunrise.
Oh, very nice.
Ow.
Ouch. 3 mind. It's worth it. I love you,
Oh.
buddy.
Oh, sweet. Wait, I may have a thing. Hold on. Bedisha. Sacred. No. There's a.
Don't worry about it.
I don't think I have a thing to help you. Dang it, I thought I might.
It's all right.
Yeah. Okay.
Final dramatic confrontation. It's worth it.
All right. And Fanara, please roll me a d10. Roll 3 above.
Hookah 4.
Very good. Lorelei has screamed as Sebastian has died there as she looks up at you, and she says, I thought you cared. I need for you to roll a resist plus occult, please.
Very well. I have resist. I do not have occult.
Get your base one.
Religion would not help me here.
It won't, but you're going to be using it in just a moment, I think.
Okay. All right. Here we go. It's 2 dice. See how it goes. Oh my, that is an 8 and a 9.
Oh, very good. You resist as you feel this sort of like fingers rubbing into your mind for a moment.
Mm-hmm.
And as her eyes widen, seeing that this has not worked, and it has also meant that your former imposed infatuation also evaporates from you.
Oh, good.
And
His light shines from my forehead gem.
And
oh man,
what would you like to do? As her eyes widen, she knows that you have resisted, and you could see desperation there.
Know, Lorelei, that I will breathe prayers of your name. And then I'm going to stab her in the eye.
Woo! All right. So rolling fight plus low society or crime.
Yes, I have low society, thank goodness.
Plus your base, and there's no difficulty. 3 dice.
Here we go. 7. Oh, that is appropriate. I deserve a cost for this.
Okay. First off, let's have you roll your stress.
Okay.
And it's going to be mind as compared to blood and armor in this one.
Oh God, I have so much mind stress. All right, what am I rolling? A D3, D6?
D3.
Okay. That is 2. Oh my goodness.
Okay. Add it to your stress. I'll have you roll Fallout in just a moment, but I want to hear how much damage you do to see if you take her out.
Okay. Yep, so this would be, I guess, a D3 because I have a Laud Nansan Order of Blood Knife, and it seems like that.
Does it have any tags on it by chance?
Damage D3 concealable.
Oh, concealable. Okay, cool.
Yeah, that's it.
I think because you have her here at the disadvantage, I'm going to give you brutal as you're going for her eye. So you may roll twice and take the higher.
Okay, I will let that happen. That seems appropriate. Here we go, 2D3. I got a 3 and a 2, so I'll take the 3.
Taking the 3, you stab deeply into her eye. And you could tell that despite this horrible wound, she is not quite dead, as in like her body's still functioning, but the light in her other eye has clearly changed. There's not so much thinking going on inside of her at the moment, as you hear from her voice, "Take me, I will serve." And then the eye turns completely black as you feel a demonic presence.
I think things have worsened, my friends.
We'll come back to that in just a moment. Bizarre. You have exchanged witty banter and a couple of blows with the swan. He is hurt, but willing to continue the fight at least a moment or two more. Do you wish to continue fighting?
Need to keep him here, right? So, yeah.
All right. Fight plus lower crime and difficulty 1.
Okay. That's a 7.
All right. Let's have you roll your damage real quick.
Yeah, damage.
D6.
6, and I roll my stress, and this is a lot of rolling. It's a 5 again.
All right. Now roll your stress, a D8.
Yeah, that's an 8. Ow. That's appropriate, though.
Yes.
I think.
You take 8 points to blood and armor. You're getting automatic fallout.
Yay.
And with 11, I believe you have moved up into what type of fallout you're going to take.
Yeah. Pretty sure I have.
I'm pretty sure you have. You will be taking severe fallout.
Oh.
And I want to ask, are you knocking him out or are you killing him? You have that option.
I can't kill him. I have to knock him out.
Okay.
That's one of the drawbacks. If I do this, I knock them out, and they come to in a few minutes later, and they don't even have a concussion. But I knock them out. So it's not a real fighting skill. It's more of a magical, convincing the universe that this is fighting now.
All right. This is great. This works out perfectly. As he moves forward quickly, and you swing, catching him solidly in the jaw. There's a crack as his jaw kind of breaks, and you see him slump, falling backwards. You realize that you have single-handedly defeated the fearsome swan.
Mm-hmm.
And it's then that you look down and see the crystal dagger sticking out of your chest.
Oh.
You are dying.
Ow. Okay.
You have an option here.
Yeah.
You could choose to do something useful before you die. You roll with mastery because it's the last thing you'll ever do. Or you desperately cling on to life and lose something vital in the bargain.
Okay.
Which are you doing?
I'm clinging on to life.
You reach down as he, knocked out, stumbles backwards, hits the windowsill, and falls out of the window. Damn. And you hear a sickening thud of him hitting the ground. Almost certainly, he is dead.
He's not dead.
Well,
I know how this works. I'll sit down.
Outside, and you clutching and bleeding, you slump to the ground, Vizar. Outside, Gerald, you see Sebastian is very, very dead. There is a boot print now on the inside part of his spine. What are you doing as you see a dagger sticking out of Lorelei's eye?
I don't think I even looked back. Once I'd got the dagger in the back of Sebastian's leg, I felt confident in my crew, myself. I was going for the door.
You bust open the door and you see with a pool of blood flowing down from them and a dagger in his chest, is Vizar.
Bizarre. I rushed in.
Oh, hey. Tara,
No.
I fell out the window.
Yeah, no, doesn't matter now. And I'm like looking at the wound.
I think I might have overestimated myself. I knocked him out of the window, though.
No, you've done good. You've done good. Wait a little.
That hurts, actually. Quite a bit.
Right, and I think I'm looking desperately around the room for any type of anything I could use to heal someone with. I don't think I have. I have fix.
Your fix is healing. If you would
then.
like, I will let you roll a fix plus academia, probably, or technology.
Don't have.
All right. So fix plus your base, and this is your looking at the situation. This isn't the immediate you trying to.
Yeah.
This may well be beyond your skill to fix.
And I do have a sewing kit on me, of course.
I will help you.
So that is a piece.
Don't pull out the dagger yet.
That is probably very good help. You get 3 dice to roll. Did you roll 3 dice? Okay.
And
it's in.
I think Gerald, even before the roll, felt fairly sure that he was not going to pull that dagger out.
All right. So it is probably best to keep the dagger in for this moment, because if not, there would be enormous bleeding, quick bleed out. But you grab something to kind of, staunch around the wound and trying to hold Vizar, make them comfortable. Vizar, by the way, you got to remove 7 stress. So there's something. Did you hear me, Sabine? You got to remove 7 stress.
Huh? What? Sorry, I didn't hear you.
You get to remove 7 stress because you took severe fallout.
If internet is being wonky,
Oh,
should
nice.
we take the bio now? And
No, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, fine. Internet has stopped being wonky, but we can take a bio.
Well, let's hold, and we'll try and take it 5 minutes because I wouldn't mind doing. I think we're going to deal with our Lorelei issue fairly quickly as well. Fanara and Golaset, you see. You heard Aramis say that you see there is like almost a physical change going on in Lorelei as well.
Don't like that.
What are you doing? Or do you wish to hold to see what Aramis is going to do?
So although one might suppose that being atop somebody and having them pinned is a position of advantage, I'd kind of like to remove Aramis from the probably now demon-possessed Lorelei and help him get to his feet. That seems like a good thing. Just get a little distance for him. So I think if that requires Golo and I both like taking an arm and hauling him up, we do it.
I think y'all can reach over and pull him back as you see this transformation. Her fingers begin going to these points, her nails extending to red claws. Her mouth begins to open wider and wider, and you see these blood red teeth. And her eye begins shining with this baleful orange glow. As the 3 of you kind of pull back for a sec. Aramis, what are you doing?
Limier, protect us. Demon, you will be destroyed. And he'll let the light shine forward from his forehead and stand forward with the ceremonial dagger of his order, and that's about it.
All right. I think that I'm going to give you an option here. You could go in with a fight plus your religion, or you could go in with a, let's see, how would it be best? Fix. You're trying to basically get a, trying to exorcise a demon. I think that's fix.
Interesting.
But it has a different look to what it'll do, depending on which you choose.
I have the same level of dice, so I am curious. When you say fix, what do you imagine? Like, what are the potential outcomes of that? Because
If
I'm
you
interested in it.
Yeah. If you're going with the fix, you're doing kind of trying to get this demon out and sent back to where it belongs. Your resistance will be off of mind, and you will potentially, at least from a religious sort of standpoint, have freed Lorelai's soul. If you fight, you will defeat the vessel this demon is in. It will be destroyed. You will be going up against blood and armor, and it's pretty fair to say it will drag Lorelai's soul down to hell.
Then definitely fix.
Okay.
I would at least like for her soul to have a chance for rest.
All right. You're
Thank
going
you.
with a difficulty of 1. Fanara, Goliset, anything? Y'all have not used a full action. You could do something in here if you think you could help.
Yeah, we'll assist by probably defending Aramitz from the demon's tender ministrations.
All right. I think
Thanks.
you're up to 3 dice.
Okay. Here we go. Oof, I got an 8. Success with no stress.
You feel your mind engaging with this thing inside of her. It's hatred, it's rage buffeting against you. As Goliset and Fanara kind of, it's struggling up. They're kind of holding it back. And as Lumiere's light shines down, it screams, and you begin to see Lorelai's features changing back. But you hear in your head, priest, you have sent several of my brethrens home. Your name is getting known. Aramitz.
The name that matters is Limier.
As you say her name, the light shines brighter and it screams into oblivion. And for a moment, Lorelai is back as she was with a dagger in her eye.
Yeah.
And then there's a rattled breath, and she dies. And I think we'll take our break there. So, all righty, we're back, and man, that was quite the battle. So, I think we're Rich. Do we haven't rolled Fallout for you, have we?
No, sadly, no.
So roll. You have, I believe, a total of
7.
7.
Fallout. Yeah.
So yeah, let's roll above 7. 7 and above.
All right, here he comes. I was just reading a couple of my little advances, and none of them are helpful. So, as a 3, I am taking Fallout.
You are taking moderate Fallout, which means that first off, you can go ahead and subtract off 5 stress, and your minor Fallout or moderate Fallout is There's a couple of interesting ones here. I like this one. Memory holes. You did things that you can't quite recall. The GM and every player aside from you work together to determine what you did that you blocked out from your mind while you step outside of the room or during downtime. We'll probably won't do secrety like that, but these are generally pretty awful things, and they can have happened up to a year ago in game time or immediately upon suffering fallout. Your character has zero memory of the events, but everyone else involved knows what happened. I think that's an interesting fallout. And we'll play with that later. That's not for our...
I'm a little confused. Does it mean these are things that actually happened that my character doesn't remember, but everyone else knows?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, questionable if all the characters know precisely what happened, but the players, we as players get to decide what happened.
So we'll play with that, though, in a bit, because I think we're still in the mix of a lot of big things going on. So, Fanara, Goliset, Aramitz, it's quiet here for the moment. The door is open into the other room, and I think as you glance in, you may see Gerald kind of holding the Tsar.
Oh. Oh, dear.
Aramitz, get over here now.
Yes, of course. And he will move over and...
You play, stay here. I won't let go of Gerald if you don't make me.
Czar, please let me help Gerald.
Yeah, sure. Oh, yeah, of course.
There's twine in my pocket. I just very, very quickly glance towards the pockets.
I don't think Aramitz brought his healer's kit. It just doesn't.
Time for bandages. This
like
place
a thing
is filled with costumes. I start ripping up fabric.
There you go.
Yeah.
And just handing things immediately off to Aramitz to try staunching the bleeding.
Sounds good. Let us hope that these are sterile costumes. In time.
No,
doing what I can to staunch the blood, and if I need to, I'll start a tourniquet if that's what's necessary. But if we have time, like, here's the thing: there was big yelling, so in the back of Aramitz's mind is at any point people are going to be running in
that
here.
Seems likely. Now, I mean, y'all haven't done anything illegal exactly. I mean,
yeah, we defended ourselves, guys.
Right.
This was somebody was screaming about a murder. We ran in.
I mean, he pretty much confessed to me that he was the Swan. So, and then he jumped. No, I punched him out of the window.
And you do have one of the Swan daggers stuck in your chest as evidence.
Yeah, right. I've got evidence.
Pretty unmistakable. I mean, if Morn sees this, that's actually great for us.
Yeah. And Vizar is trying to drag out his notebook.
Oh, Aramitz, I think the question here first is, do you wish to try to do, like, pull the dagger and see if you can do medical treatment?
Evidence.
I take the notepad quite roughly, almost throw it across the room, but then just the hand slows and just calmly places it down.
Damn it.
Like with extreme care, like I'm fighting my own urge to
wait for somebody to see this who's not one of us.
It doesn't matter right now.
It does.
We'll remember.
I tuck it into
Honest
my
to-
own shirt.
Give me back my notebook.
You
We
need
have
to be
different
still.
priorities right now. Bizarre.
Damn it.
I know. It's
Damn it.
extremely dramatic, and I'm very proud of you for sticking to your guns and what you want to do best. But right now, you need to focus on not bleeding and dying.
That is not something I can actually influence.
Yes, you can
Friends.
by not moving and not talking.
Let us see if we can conduct the rite of respite. That way we need not move about in this area of copious evidence.
Let
And-
us
and then-
just wait till somebody sees the scene. Come on, guys. We can.
We can create a
People need
place
to
of
see
stillness and
this.
healing
They
so
will
that you
believe
need
us.
not. So you need not stillness and healing.
Okay.
So we
It
needn't
hurts actually.
die from these efforts.
Hurts actually quite badly.
I'm sure that it does, but
Yeah.
let us recuperate. Let us think of Limier. She will give us a moment of respite here.
Okay. Fine.
All right. You begin the rite.
Yes. And I'll quickly try to create a place of stillness and healing, leading my allies in this session while I hold vigil. I try to create a comfortable and healing environment. I think perhaps I put my hands and close their eyes so they don't see the blood and the gore and the horrific acts that have been performed. And then all allies may restore 3 stress from mind and blood. I think that will definitely help Vazar and Gerald.
And as you know, you've got the rite. It's taken you a few minutes to get the place settled. But as the rite begins and you hear at the door heavy footsteps, and then you see Morns and Zordon. And as Morns starts to move forward, Zordon says, "No. Wait for Aramis." And Morn sort of holds a moment. And Aramis, as the light of Lumiere sort of suffuses this area, you feel sort of now is the time to pull the dagger out. And kind of gracefully and slowly it pulls out. Even touching it, though, you can feel the corruption of this dagger, its nastiness. But as you pull it out and then begin to staunch the wound.
Since we have an audience, I will make appropriate noises of being manly but hurting, right?
You don't have to fake them.
No, it's true. And I won't try to hold it in.
It hurts like fuck. And I think it is fair to say, as we're going to kind of bring in this moment to a close, kind of bring the dark down as you pull it out and there's blood. Vazar, you make your sounds, but the pain also, you kind of pass out. And
I think as Vazar is like,
I would like not to pass out because I want to talk to these people about what I've done here and what I've seen.
I got you. See, my thought is we're going to kind of close this scene and then we're going to have that moment where we're talking a few moments, where we're less laying on the ground on the stage.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. Okay.
I think I like as that bit of muffled screaming. I think Gerald is like holding Vazar's head to his chest, kind of like heart cuddle heart. There's a mix of loving and also slight practical of you're screaming, we don't want to attract more attention. It's kind of 50-50 in Gerald's head.
And Aramis, you staunch the wound and we see the scene sort of pull back and go dark. And we're going to skip forward, I think, to where we have an opportunity. We have Borns here. We're going to have a few other people here with Vizar on something more stable than the floor. People are working, but Aramis, you have stabilized Vizar, meaning you are no longer dying.
Nice.
Am I still bleeding?
Did you take fallout?
I took fallout of bleeding.
I
was up to 4 stress.
Oh, that's very nice. Yeah. So you in the respite, I think that also will manage to staunch the bleeding. Yours was a minor fallout, right?
Yes, I believe so.
So that will drop that fallout. Sabine, you will downgrade from your dying to a severe fallout.
Mhm.
I mean, to a moderate fallout.
Nice.
Which will be, let's see. I think what I'm going to go with here is off of the broken somethings. We're going to say that this is I think we're going to say punctured lung. And what that's going to mean is you're going to have trouble running, exerting yourself. And that's going to continue for a month or so, unless someone gets some very powerful healing magics on you.
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine. I can't talk in a dramatic, gravelly voice.
Exactly. And Rich will deal your fallout later. And Fedara, you didn't take any fallout, I don't think. And everyone would have had the chance to heal from the respite, the stress as well. So I believe that was 3 stress that could be taken from Rich. Was it mind and blood armor?
Mind and blood, yes.
All right. And so we're in this room. We have Borns there and Zoran, who I think is probably a little mad and disappointed he wasn't there for the fight. And all of you, we also have a Chamberlain of Resplendence that is there. Resplendent didn't deign come himself. But this Chamberlain, and there also is a higher up of the guard, the New Haven guard, the city guard, who is there as well. So they've called in folks. It's been 30, 40 minutes. There is a house healer who is going in and trying to get Vizar help, comfortable, working with you Aramis to, now that you've had an opportunity to work on Vizar in a more stable place, like sew up the wound they've gone through and tried to, with your help, try and deal with the bleeding as much as possible. I don't know if this is, I guess that's a good question to ask. Aramis, we're in a kind of weird magitech world. Do they do things like go in and suturing veins? And I mean, is it, how advanced do you think medicine is?
Well, we've got Grackler pistols, so it feels like it's in this kind of industrialized, almost steampunky vibe. So I could see like special glues made rather than very nice sutures. So yeah, I think that's there's probably still on the humors, not humorous, but like humors and that level of medical understanding versus actual direct science. But I'm sure there are probably other members of Spire who have the more scientific understanding of things, and it's just everyone laughs at their
right. Okay, then I think that they've gone in and kind of patched up as much as possible and are doing the sealing of the wound on the chest has happened, and Vizar, you are kind of regaining consciousness again, have done so here a moment or two ago. And what you've been informed, I think probably as a group you were rather concerned about Vizar, but maybe Venara you seem most likely to have been the one who would have taken a moment to look out the window and see that there is the body of the swan laying where it has smashed to the cobblestones many stories below. And guards have gone to, collect the body.
An
And-
ugly, artless death.
An ugly, artless death.
Oh, what a great headline.
And Morns is there. He's been very respectful of making sure Vazar was okay before he settles in to say, all right, tell me what happened. Mr. Vazar, you were attacked?
Okay, I guess this is on me. First, Lorda and Sebastian, they used magic on their performances. And I told them that I want to meet him because, yay, I totally want to be a demonic artist myself, which I don't. In case that's not clear, I don't. And then I got to this Callisto brag, and it was very easy to get him to tell me that he was the swan. Actually, he was so proud of that. And then I kind of egged him on to go and perform his murder thing now, because I thought if I'm with him, then I can yell bloody murder while he's near his mark and everybody can come and arrest him or something. Yeah, I didn't know that he could fly. So, yeah, I thought, okay, I can let him do that, right? Because unlike some others, I'm like the elf here, to be clear. I'm not willing to let an elf die if I can prevent it.
Very commendable. And you'll note there are no Elfir in the room with you at the moment.
Of course not. Anyway, so I provoked him into attacking me. And that went, well, better than I thought it would, actually. I knocked him out of the window.
Yes, and he is deceased.
I don't think so.
Well, we have his body.
Oh, you do?
He was in possession of several demon-infused items. I do not imagine, he looks over at you, Eris, but perhaps, Father, you may be aware, there are things called eidolons in which demonic energies can be invested. It is most unholy. He seems to have been one of these demonologists.
Oh dear.
He was working though with the person who who lives in this. I'm gonna tell him the address. There was a demonic device in there as well. You might want to look into that if you're allowed to. It belongs to an elf here.
You saw this yourself.
The device, yes.
See, it would seem, Mr. Vazar, that you have been involving yourself in this rather deeply.
I'm a journalist and a criminal investigator. Of course I have. Somebody had to, right?
I see. He'll look around the rest of the room. Were any of the rest of you involved in this investigation?
Happened upon the scene. I heard the commotion, and I thought I should go check.
Your name is?
Horvath, sir.
I see. Did you witness any of the attack?
I did see the the gentleman exit the window, sir.
That's a lie you're telling. I think we should roll for that. That will be deceive plus order.
I do have order.
And you have deceive.
Disguise on the fly. I'm not doing that. Really.
No.
It's just
No, he's buying your servant gig.
Yeah. So, 3 dice. A 9.
Very good. He says, I see. You may need to make an official report.
Of course, sir. With the permission of our lord.
Of course. So you are attached to the house?
Yes, sir.
Let's see. Well, you may exit. I will be questioning you later and getting a statement from you.
Certainly, sir. One quick glance at my colleagues, and then I disappear out the door.
Okay. Ms. Fonara.
Sir.
How did you come to be involved in this? I can only guess, pointing kind of, at Vazar, unusual investigation.
Well, quite simply, I was near backstage with Aramitz, having conferred a little bit about the performances, and then heard Vizar's shouting. And of course, the shouts were very provocative. The swan is here, murderer, help. I had my bodyguard with me, so we availed ourselves of the situation.
And
we encountered Lorelei and Sebastian there.
The performers.
Correct. And they attacked us.
I see. They must have somehow been involved with the swan. Your father... Yeah, go ahead.
He was their mentor.
I see. Father, it was quite brave of you and Miss Fonara and her manservant. I commend you on that. Did you see or encounter anything else that is pertinent to this investigation?
My bravery was only the trust in my allies, my people, and Limier. Lorelei, she gave herself over to what I believe was a demon as she died.
This demon?
Yes.
You disposed of it?
I hope so.
It seemed to be quickly exorcised.
It's very impressive, Father. Very few have the skill and more the will to combat a demon.
We do what we must, and Limier guided me.
Of course. Of course she did. Would you be adverse to me checking to make sure that there is no residual presence of this demon about you?
Please. I implore you to do so.
He'll reach up to that medallion, which you recognize as the Solar Pantheon symbol, and hold it. And a light very different from Lumier's, a more yellowy sort of the sunlight radiates off of him. as he reaches out and just lays his hand on your shoulder. Father, you have sent this demon completely away. I'm highly impressed.
It's the power of Lumiere.
Indeed. Indeed. We of the Solar Pantheon are very understanding of your faith and welcome its participation here within Spire. That's not altogether true, but, it's nice of him to say.
He's making an effort. We notice.
We will need to get statements from each of you and your man. So, Zordon, I know that you and Vazar are friends. We'll have to talk about this more, you and I. But for now, you have discharged your service to aid me in discovering this criminal. Thank you. I will be in touch. There is a reward, Mr. Vazar.
Oh, nice. I can probably use that to cover my medical costs here.
If you would like, you may also come to the cathedral. I will see to it that our healers give you a considerable discount.
Yeah, that's nice. Thank you. I'm a bit allergic to sunlight, though.
You should not fear the sun. It warms us all.
It makes me sneeze. And I have a lung wound. Sneezing's not good.
He sort of chuckles at that. If you'll excuse me, I must go and speak with the master of the house. There is more to be discovered, and I also intend to find out more of what this Callisto Brax. If he had these two, he may have others. And he turns and stomps away,
A chilling thought.
leaving Zordon there with you guys. But
Once he's fully gone, I'm just like, to be a fly on the wall.
What a brat. I mean, we will. It's nice that Lemieux is the city. We are willing to tolerate that. Come on. You should have kind of, I don't know, chucked him, Aramis. You should have.
There's no one else in the room apart from us.
Well, you still have the Chamberlain. The city guard guy went off, but the Chamberlain of the house is there. You kind of, I get the feeling, kind of lingered by the door sort of thing.
Yeah, you can hear that I'm pissed off and I'm injured. And Gerald is gone anyway.
The master says, or the Chamberlain says, my master has offered you the room for as long as you need, and greatly wishes to apologize that something like this occurred in his household to any of you. He looks around to you, Venara and Aramis, and has asked that I give you these signs of his true regret that this happened. And he reaches into a sleeve and pulls out for you, each of you, really very beautifully crafted silver roses.
Oh my.
The sort of thing that, I don't know, Venara, you probably recognize this.
Mm-hmm.
He's giving something beautiful and worth quite a bit, but it's the sort of thing you give to someone lesser, because if they're going to have any real use for it, they're going to have to sell it or melt it down. But it's that kind of backhanded, here is something beautiful, but if you want a real reward out of it, you can't keep it.
I reach to my side and I come up with this. It looks like gold paint. And I like smear it on the edge of the petals of mine and then tuck it into a nearby vase with other living flowers. And don't say a damn thing.
The Chamberlain nods and bows and starts moving out towards the door, looking at you, Gerald. Make sure that our guests have anything they need.
Lisa.
Oh, library. Do we have a library?
Yes, there is a library. When you are feeling well enough to travel, see to the
There
gentleman's
is
needs.
some order. Okay.
And he exits.
Hey, Chamberlain, I was not finished.
Uh,
Damn it.
The gentleman.
There's an older gentleman who would like to inspect your library. Please see to that he gets to do that.
Oh, of course. I will see to it. And he leaves with that sort of, oh.
He probably knows just who you're talking about.
Yes, he does.
Mm-hmm. Delicious.
I think that is the perfect countergift to this rose.
Mm-hmm. And so, you're all as a group there alone.
Oh,
Oh my gosh.
Oh.
Next time, remind me to maybe take Sorden for something like that.
I'll have it in mind, very foremost.
Yeah, well.
Ugh.
But on the other hand, I'm not dead.
A silver rose. Does he think I'm a fucking peasant?
Yes.
Duh.
Well, he's not wrong, but I hate it anyways.
Yeah.
I'm very proud of what you did. Please, please don't do it again.
What? I don't think I'll be throwing serial killers out of a window anytime soon.
That's all I ask for.
But can you maybe come closer a little? I have to show you something.
I kind of glance at the others and then
I like
Okay.
to pretend to not be watching.
Yeah.
I think Vizar wants to kiss Gerald. I don't know if you can taste any of this sulfurous stuff that I smoked, but I want to really get rid of that.
I think there is the faint residue of it.
It's a little eggy. It's an eggy kiss. It's weird.
There's a slight raise of the eyebrow from Gerald as he's like detecting that, and a kind of raised eyebrow, minor frown, and then he's like, he goes with the kiss.
So, do we wish to have a scene of us talking here? Do we wish to transport Vizar elsewhere? Do we wish to have Vizar stay here for a while? What would we like as a group?
I think it's up to what Vizar is comfortable with. If Vizar wants to stay here, Finar would be like, cool, interesting, love it, love it. Here is a new empty notebook.
Mm-hmm.
No, I think he wants to get out of here because this no.
All right, then. Feels like then we're going to do a leaving this scene. Before we leave this scene, though, and we can do this in a more meta way, is there anything those of you that are more ambulatory would like to go and look at and see before you leave?
Gerald is not leaving Vizar's side.
Okay. Vanara, anything you wish to do? The party has continued on down below.
Wow. They're dedicated. That's dedication. Let's see here. You know what? I tell everyone that I'm probably going to be going home to my own place tonight late, or I'll be staying at the Kraken Bell. Either way, if there's anything exciting, I'll leave a note in our usual location. And I'm gonna prowl around and see if I can spot. Oh, what's her name?
Straya.
The wannabe.
The lieutenant, yeah. Farida.
Farida,
Yes.
yes.
I think that looking about, you as you come back down to the party, see her preparing to leave. You'll also note that as a perhaps added bit of entertainment for the party, they have a room where you can see the body of the swan, and you see that the police and guard, and they've called in the Morticians Guild. But people can go by the French doors and look in and watch as they are dealing with the body. And you see several Elfir have come downstairs to enjoy it.
Uh-huh.
Do you go up to her?
Oh yeah, no, I think that I'm definitely going to have another from stage left wine moment. I'm not going to spill wine on her, but I'm going to play the drunk and, hang on her. Leaving already?
Yes, I am. Do I know you?
Well, I don't know. Do I know you? How could I have missed a lovely place like yours?
That is very kind of you to say, but I am afraid that I have to leave. I have other engagements.
At this hour? Come on, don't be scared. Everything is over. I gesture towards the corpse palisade.
She looks over and you see her face. Where most people would kind of blanch away from the sight of it, you see in hers, there is just a flash of anger for a moment as she turns away. No, I fear that I do have to go. Someone is waiting on me.
Oh, well, pardon me for being indiscreet. You have a lovely evening, dear.
And you. And she heads out, and you see that they brought a carriage around for her with, it's that, again, not a rickshaw, but it's a person drawn cart.
God, nightmare fuel. I hate it. Love it.
And she rides off into the darkness. Aramis, anything you're doing, my dear?
I was just thinking, I don't believe so. I don't think, unless someone suggests someone Aramis should have a scene with. I think he's much more concerned about his friends.
Okay. Then I think we pull out of here, and Vizar, where are you asking them to take you? To your home, to the Kraken Bell, to the chapel?
No, I think I want to go home now, maybe. I mean, that's where my typewriter is, right? And not that I can write at the moment. I totally accept that I can, but still having that near me would soothe my mind. But I will be. But if Sordin insists, I will go to the Kraken Bell as well.
Sordin certainly won't insist.
He's not here.
He's very worried about you and wherever you would feel comfortable.
Yeah.
Then sounds to me. Well, I will ask Gerald. Gerald, do you go with Vizar? I mean, everybody's going to have to, or several people are going to have to help Vizar get home.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like right beside Vizar, like one supporting one arm. keep
Yeah,
them
I'll-
steady.
While I do the wine thing, I do leave Gerald and Vizar with some walking around Silver. And by walking around Silver, I mean hire a palanquin already.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that I would like to,
Yeah.
if we could do that. Yes, please.
And so you're transported back to Vizar's place of residence. And Gerald, are you staying?
Yes.
Okay. If Vizar allows that.
Vizar allows that. It's the landlady who might have issues, but you're good at sneaking, right?
I mean, you have a gaping wound. Well, a not so gaping wound. She's probably going to be a little lenient on someone helping you.
I don't think I want her to see that I have a gaping wound. Oh my gosh, she would probably raise my rent for bloodstains or something like that.
If you share that worry,
Be like, I
think-
want next month in advance, right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you could die, right? Yes, exactly.
Yeah, if you share that worry at all, I think I'm kind of like nod to one of the others to like, up the stairs to her room. And then I will go and just be I don't know, door-to-door salesman or something.
Just to get in.
Yeah, just
No,
all just to distract.
climb.
you know.
Oh,
You
I
can't
got you.
climb
No.
in my window.
No, so they don't see Vizar.
So that you can get in with some
Oh.
cover.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
so-
so Vizar
That's
isn't
nice.
seen wounded and
Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
in a
Yes.
state.
You have no problem sneaking Vizar through.
Okay.
And I think we'll close out then the two of you staying there to nurse and comfort. And Aramis, I'm guessing, going back to the chapel. And so we will close the night. Now it's 4:25. I feel like we could do a little more, or we could close up. Want to get together and discuss things. It is worth noting everybody is going to get a medium advance for taking out the swan. But we could have a little get together if we want and discuss what going forward. But I don't want to get too far ahead because we're missing out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm all right with an early call today. I think
so
Yeah.
too.
yeah.
Yeah, I very much would like for Jan to be with us.
Okay, so I think that will kind of, as everyone splits their different ways heading home, we see people, Gerald taking care of Vizar, maybe making a bit of tea. We have you, Fanara and Golisette, getting back to your residence, and Golisette kind of with a bit of regret, getting out of the fancy dress, looking down at the blood stains that are on it. And you could tell that he rather liked being all dressed up. Back at the chapel, as you arrive, Aramis, Yvette, is that her name? That's her name, isn't it?
Yes.
Is there. And I think that well, first off, you probably still have some blood on you. But more, she can read a bit of the mood as you come in, and she will rush over and, just almost unconsciously kind of, embrace you. Are you all right?
I am now. Thank you.
Are you hurt?
I will heal. Limye will help me. I saw some of my friends hurt tonight. It was very taxing.
Well, my dear Aramis. Come. Let me make you some tea. And you can talk. And she leans up and she gives you a kiss on the cheek. I'm glad you're home.
I'm glad to find you here. Do you work some more on the mural?
I think it's done.
Oh.
Does that mean I can't come visit?
This chapel is always open, of course.
I can visit Lumiere anywhere. I come to the chapel to visit you.
Whatever brings you to her house, I welcome it.
You see that response bite. You see a little twinge of maybe sadness, like she's like it seems she's feeling a little like you're pushing her away. As she kind of moves back and, please let me, and takes your hand. Let's sit down, and starts leading you back towards your private rooms. Oh, kitty, let's go. And we pull back out of the cathedral. We see Zordon walking back to the Kraken Bell. There's raucous noise and drinking as he enters. And I think that, as we see him go in, we notice someone observing that and goes running off down the street. And then we pull back further and begin ascending Spire. So we see a row of beautiful mansions, many of them falling into disrepair. We push through a window, down a set of stairways. We see Drow with rifles in outfit, in livery, periodically as we move through a kitchen where we see a older lady Drow fixing a cup of tea and pulling out a bit of cake. Push down below into a basement, and then through the floor of that, where we see Farida standing there. Brax is dead. And from the darkness we hear, that fool. Now, I must find a heart of my own. And that's where we'll end. So, like I say, everybody's getting a medium advance for ending the reign of terror of the Swan. A very tremendous and interesting fight was had. Even I'm interested to hear people's thoughts on having a full-blown fight, how they felt the system worked on it. So, since we got a little time, let's do a round of stars and wishes. I think I started on the left side for other things, so let's start on the right side this time. Sabine, you had quite the encounter. What stars do you have for us?
Stars, the stars. No, lots of stars. This was a fun session. I like the fight in front of the door, like Aramit's. I loved Aramit's taking on the demon. I liked Fonara trying to get. I like Gol said, just going to town on this performer. And oh, Gerald, I love you. I love the way that you just blank-faced lied to this Chamberlain, and no, blank-faced lied to this Paladin. I love that. That was my Gerald. That's the way I know him.
Aww.
So
Thank you.
yeah, and stars to you, Tyler, for running this and giving us a fight. I mean, the session was basically all fight that had a lot of meaning and a lot of emotional investment, right? Because we knew these evil NPCs.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Jen, any stars?
Oh boy. So much terrible violence. I felt like this was a very satisfying segment of the adventure. You know, we all expected this to be big and that confronting these people was going to be difficult, and it was. So that was very satisfying. I loved, Tyler, your performance of the Swan in his final incredibly scenery chewing moments. Very, very good. And yeah, everybody I think got to really be themselves in a really strong, impactful way this session. So very delicious, good stuff.
Awesome. Thank you very, very much. Next up, I believe that's you, isn't it, Rich?
Believe so. I would say stars to some really interesting complications, Tyler, from the Fallout that you chose. That was a neat introduction to that part of the system, or it just seems so varied, and the conflicts that we faced were pretty rich, and I liked that quite a lot. It was neat to see. This is weird, but let me preface the star. Generally haven't been super impressed with the Spire like mechanics. I don't understand why people say, hey, I'm going to use the Spire mechanics, because I'm like, everything that I found cool about the Spire is outside of the mechanics. But there were some cool mechanical bits here from Fallout and a bit of the complications of our fight that was interesting. Like, oh, okay, maybe there is a little bit more to this system than I had experienced. And that was a neat realization for me.
Awesome. Thank you very, very much. And last but certainly not least, Alex, any stars?
Yes. The first one that came to mind was the Funara's getting the rose thing, and her,
Spearing her own
snubbing-
blood that had turned into gold on it. Yeah.
Yeah, the snub of the snub. And also the, who does think I am? Peasant? And then, yeah. I love that.
I'm a peasant, but I'm not his peasant. God
Yes.
damn it.
Yeah. I really liked that it felt like a big shift from when the kind of mind haze charm spell type thing went from Aramit's, because it went from like, we're fighting for our lives, but I'm kind of just trying to hold you down and stop you from fighting, to, okay, it's gone. And that felt like a hard turn, which, the rose tinted glasses have gone off, and yeah, that felt right. And I really enjoyed that there was the Bizarre being in danger and getting to kind of play against that, and also just Bizarre one-on-one versus the Swan. Just that was like, I did not think that was how it was going to play out, but yeah, I was down for it.
Bizarre turning from servile performance to haha, fuck you, you terrible psychotic pig, die. That was super
switch.
duper good.
Yeah, that super sycophantic, which was also just glorious as well. So yeah, the full 180 was, and yes, the scenery chewing of the Swan was a sight to behold.
Thank you very, very much. Stars to everybody. It was phenomenal. Y'all I love that we had not just combat, but a lot of like reasoning in the combat and emotion and talk and things that happened during it that I thought were cool. Just really nice to know. I was glad to see Gulliset get in there and us really see him. I thought that was super cool. I gotta say, I was happy how the dice did. I would have felt bad if the swan had died without causing some sort of horrible damage. So the dice rolled well to give us that really traumatic moment. And I kind of like the dying fallout. I love the option there of do the awesome thing that's your last thing, or struggle to hold on so that someone can save you. That's a nice, neat little fallout for giving some player agency to a death. I thought was cool. So let's do some wishes. We'll go back the other way. Alex, any wishes?
I hope Jan is here for next session. This continuation of the really great NPC work, that like our little side NPCs, not like the kind of main story NPCs, but the little side ones being brought to life, which I really enjoyed. Like you mentioned with the Gullisets, he really got, he was a fun character, but he's getting a little bit more dimensions, even than, not a huge amount of screen time, but the time he was in, there was the character kind of grew in those moments. Kind of continuation of that.
Awesome. Thank you very, very much. Rich, any wishes?
So yes, this wish stems from I had picked an advance at character creation called Build Bridges, where you sacrifice yourself for your allies, but and that's why I picked it. That sentence, you sacrifice yourself for your allies, +1 reputation. Cool. But then everything other than +1 reputation about this, before you roll for fallout on a bond, you can mark stress, remove it from the ally. But like, we don't do bond stuff.
We haven't done a lot of it.
Sure, and it's not exactly a complaint, but it's a realization that like, okay, well, that's just a thing I did to get a +1 reputation. That's fine. Now we have this medium advance, and I'm looking at the Lejean stuff, and it's got this super cool thing called I'm going to mispronounce it, Scryatrix Inanis. And it looks wild, and it's one of those kind of on the level of Zordon becoming an admiral type thing. Like, oh, this is super fascinating, except it says you have to have the Scryatrix Nation, which is a low advance. And so like part of me is like, dang it, if I just taken this other low advance, I could have this medium advance.
You can switch that out, especially since we really haven't had a chance to use it. The other thing would be if you wanted us to lean more into the idea with the bonds would be that you're building up this whole network of allies you can call on. If that's something you're not going to be interested in, and we're getting into the game where you're seeing that's just not happening, feel free to change that advance.
Cool. I want to give it a little bit more thought. I appreciate the offer, but if I had a wish, it would be like that is, hey, I wish I could swap this low advance with something I'd actually use. And I feel like we're getting to the points where the Scryatrix Nation, which is the low advance version, getting the GM to reveal something hidden in the immediate area seems really fascinating. So I may take you up on that, and I appreciate you being flexible. And I hope nobody feels like I will reduce the reputation because I wouldn't have that low advance anymore. But if anyone thinks otherwise, feel free to hit me up on the Slack and we could talk it out. But yeah, that's something I may do.
I'm all for you doing that. It's kind of a decision to say, oh, I'm gonna be someone who has a whole bunch of people I'm building up bonds with. And if that's not something you're interested in, there's surely no reason for you to have that man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not opposed to it. It just does. We already got 5 PCs, and it feels like a lot of our NPCs fall by the wayside unless we like really push it. And so I think from the story that we're telling, it doesn't. It's not a direction I think makes sense in what we're having fun doing, I guess.
That's cool. Yeah, absolutely. Think on it, but yeah, feel free if that's what you'd like to do.
Cool. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you very much. Next up, Jen, any wishes?
Goodness. I mean, it feels like we're still on this particular. It feels like we're on the same roller coaster. And I'm not against that. I want to see how the landing goes. I don't know. What do you call the end of a roller coaster? But but yeah, I'm curious about that. I have to start sniffing out some business opportunities to patch my silver rating back up or back down.
Mm-hmm.
And
I'll give something for that.
Yeah. And otherwise, yeah, like hopefully next session we have Jan. Hopefully we have a little bit of low combat for a bit. Just, at least one session. That's about it.
Cool. Awesome, and thank you. And Sabine, any wishes?
Yeah. I wish I wouldn't lose my ear pod. Also, yeah, I mean, I kind of wish that we would see some consequences from what we did there. I mean, that this has, that we feel the impact of the whole event. This was pretty public, right? So,
yeah.
And it will be more public once I get up and get to my typewriter. And yeah, also I wish that we wouldn't do something immediately after, because running around.
What does
Yeah.
the Tsar do with all the reward money? Is it like enough that it doesn't get immediately evaporated by medical bills? If so, what happens?
Maybe get a better room. Maybe get a new typewriter where I don't have to replace all the F's by hand. That would be neat. Wow, a new typewriter. Can you imagine? Wow. I also will give the rose to my stupid family down in Derelictus. They can make use of that, and I don't want it anyway.
Excellent. All right, thank you. Thank you very much.
Yeah, but that was my wish was that. That was pretty much my wish. Yes, I thought I wanted to say something else, but I didn't, so sorry.
Seeing some consequences, I understand, and I like that. And I like the idea of, I think that putting the swan down has certainly given we should have a breathing moment here and there. We know that they still need their final piece, so maybe we have a little bit of time to breathe and do something. I can work with that. I wish Jan will be with us next time. I think that there will be lots of fun things to be done. And I'm thinking, Rich, that we would wait until Jan is here so we could do your Fallout as a full group. I like the idea of that Fallout, but there's a lot of things in this game that sort of feel like they're inflicted on players. I don't want us to do this where you don't have input. I know that it's, don't tell the person. We secretly write down what this thing is you don't remember. That doesn't hit me well.
It also doesn't seem like it would function.
I don't think so.
No.
Maybe you guys conspire to have a scene where you're talking about a thing I did, and I walk in and I play ignorant because I really am. Oh my! It's immersive.
Well,
maybe we could put down some ideas on the Slack for that, so we have a starting point for next time. And you can, and if we put down an idea that you really don't like, Rich, you could just say, "Oh, I don't like it. Go away."
I appreciate it. I will keep a very open mind. I am curious what you guys come up with.
And I get the feel from it. It is something that was so traumatic that you cut it out of your memory. It's within the last year. So that's sort of the fields that I have coming off.
Or
of
the
what
demon
you-
stole it.
Oh, that's interesting. Took it down with him to hell.
That's a neat thought.
A dirty little secret that.
Mhm. Yeah, maybe it's not even a dirty little secret, but yeah.
Maybe even a happy memory that I don't have
Yeah.
anymore. You
Yeah.
guys
Something
go
that
crazy.
opens a chink in your defenses because you don't have that memory.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
man.
And I'm really happy, Tyler, that you learned Aramitz's name. Because if that had been wrong with Demon, like, we know your name now, Amaritz, it would have been kind of funny in a terrible way.
In a terrible way. All right. Well, thank y'all for playing. I hope you enjoyed it. Folks at home, I hope you enjoyed it. And Rich, I turn it back to you.
As Tyler said, we hope you are watching along, and we'll see where we go next. The swan is gone, but the spire still needs to fall. Thanks everybody for watching.